My name is Marty. Marty English. I forgot how long it takes to get from Penn Station to anywhere, especially way up here. And after all that's happened, I mean, you might as well be in the middle of You ever been on one of those Caterpillar buses? You know, the ones that are like two buses squished together with an accordion connecting them in the middle? First time for me. And I made the mistake of sitting right in the middle. And when that baby made its first turn, I thought it would split in half and just spit me right out onto Fifth Avenue. You know, that reminds me. Sure is a strange place to hold an audition. I mean, it's really nice and all, but 3 fares? I mean, it's a little tough on the purse strings of the average struggling thespian. I mean, wouldn't you say? But not that I'm a cheapskate or uncommitted to my art. I just have to keep a careful eye on the budget, which is something I'm pretty darn good at, as you can see, but, oh, silly me. I know that's an old picture. I'm getting new ones next week. Well, look, if you turn this one over, you see it says it right here. Under other skills and accomplishments, class president, Christopher Columbus High School Economics Club, sophomore and junior year. Oh, no, but not that finance was my big love or anything. It wasn't. Performing was. As far back as I can remember, I would sit on my living room floor in front of the television, especially during Ed Sullivan, and whenever one of my favorites would come on. Judy Garland, Judy Holliday, Miss Peggy Lee, Mary Martin, la 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 la, Ethel Merman. I would stand up and I would begin singing right along with them. There's no business like show business. There's no business I know. No. I wouldn't just sing along with them. I became them. I mean, for a couple of minutes at least, I wouldn't be what I was, but what I wanted to be, what I always wanted to be. Now, the finance thing, that was for my father. He was a bean counter, an accountant, a very small cog in a very big Wall Street wheel. Same company for 35 years, with a barely hanging on salary, but security he had. As long as you can account for other people's money and keep it out of Uncle Sam's pocket, you'll always have a roof over your head and food in your belly. He would always say that. And he was right about that. We were never hungry. We were never thrown to the curb. But it would have been nice to have top round instead of chuck once in a while, and not have the price per pound of everything we were about to eat announced before every meal, which really, it drove Mother out of her ever-loving skull. And she was a painter, you see, the canvas type, sort of a bohemian, who always said, money wasn't important, like it was a badge of honor or something. But I knew, deep inside, she didn't really believe this. You see, the thing was, she never had it to begin with, so she couldn't let it be important. But look, never hold poverty or wealth against someone. I mean, I always say, you know, I never did understand what did she see in my dad. And she never once offered a reason, good, bad, otherwise. Yeah, I know they say that opposites attract and all, but these weren't just different types. I mean, they were a different species. She was the pinko socialist, and he was the capitalist pig. She was a stunner, and he was a schlub. He barely spoke, and she never stopped talking. Mammy! Did you hear what Khrushchev did at the UN today? And with his shoe, no less. Can you believe that? Mammy! I don't care what anyone says. Those Kennedys are up to no good. They're gangsters, all of them. Just look at their array, for Christ's sake. Mammy, do you believe the cojones on that Nixon? I am not a crook. Ha ha. I wouldn't trust him as far as you could throw him. Manny, do you think we could go to the city this weekend? There's an exhibit of post-revolutionary Chinese painting at the Modern, and I'm really dying to see that O'Keeffe show. But it's only going to be there another week. And you know how much I love her work. So can we go, Manny, please? Oh, Manny. She was as starved for attention as he was just fed up with it. So on that fateful O'Keeffe day, he just flipped out. He flipped the dinner table over, and the dinner still on it, and bellowed, "Sweet God of Abraham, Martin, and John, would you please for once in your comedy loving life, shut the hell up!" Well, she did. She did shut the hell up. That is. As a matter of fact, she never spoke to him again. Ever. Which really didn't turn out to be that long, because 3 weeks later he dropped dead in front of the Modern. A neatly wrapped gift with my mother's name written on it that the cops pried out of his right hand and they pressed into hers, in which I found myself looking at a week later when she finally opened it. It was a booklet of detachable picture postcards, and each postcard had a different Georgia O'Keeffe painting printed on the front. Funny thing, it was the only gift I ever remember her getting from him, and I never even had the chance to give it to her. But she held it. Oh, she held it like her life depended on it. And maybe it did. A month later, she was still holding it when she just dove in front of that #1 train pulling into Chambers Street, which was, you guessed it, my father's station. It's crazy, huh? So, that's why I was never going to make the same mistake. Now, I was going to find someone who was like me, or at least liked me, and who would understand how much my acting and singing meant, and would respect it and just not ignore it and pretend it wasn't important. And let me tell you, I had my pick of the Columbus High School Drama Club litter. Oh, Jeremy Morton. Ooh. Nelson Blaine. Oh, Mickey Walsh. All of them with random looks and Gilgal talent and a major thing from Wow. Thank you very much. But no kidding. I could have had any one of them. They were all interested. So that's why after our closing night senior performance of Fiddler, I was Golda, of course. When Cy Glick, well, this nebbishy guy from my economics class with the Coke bottle glasses, a white shirt, black pants, white socks peeking out from his burgundy Oxfords, he comes up to me and he asks me if I'd like to go with him to Maxie's Malt House for an ice cream soda. And I immediately said, yes. I know. It just doesn't make any sense at all. Here I am in the high school parking lot, my best friends, Lois and Chet, they're screaming for me, get into Jeremy Morton's Terry McFarlane talking. And I walk away with the squarest guy in the universe, who I wind up staring at across this stinky table as he unleashes an embarrassment of accolades and adulation, saying that he had been there for every performance I had ever given. And he thought I was the best actress he had ever seen. Ever. Not just in Columbus High School, but anywhere. Better even than Judy Garland. So, just as I was feeling equal parts flattered and stalked, he slowly slid a clear glass bowl filled with those gummy-scented white mints across the table toward me. And in the sweetest voice you ever heard whispers, if only these were diamonds. Oh, that was it. I was sunk. Oh, gee, I wonder if that's what happened to Mom. What was her bowl of mints? Was it a look? Was it a feeling? Was it something he said to make you feel just like I felt at that moment and make us forget everything our heads told us not to do and just look? No. Now, don't get me wrong. Cy was a good man. Oh, a decent man. I wouldn't have married him if he wasn't. He tried hard. He worked harder, and that counts for something, doesn't it? And he was completely faithful. I am sure of that. And he really wanted me to continue performing. So much so that he worked 2 jobs, he brought home extra work on the weekends, just to pay for the acting and the singing and the dancing lessons and the transportation. And it was all so expensive. It was too expensive. I could see that it was slowly killing him. Not that he ever complained. Never, not once. And that was slowly killing me. So after a year of just letting him carry this whole load, I gave up the stage and I made him my career. And I suddenly began to see the world through his Coke bottle glasses. And you know what? The view wasn't all that bad. Life wasn't just about me anymore, but we. Although he was never the same after I abandoned my dream. I felt guilty, ashamed that he couldn't give me what I wanted. And no matter what I said or did to change that feeling, it was always there, just deep inside, just eating him up, alive. So we worked harder. He did everything he could to make things different, but he never did become more than another small cog in another big Wall Street wheel. We even tried to have children, but couldn't. I couldn't, and that only made him feel worse, like it was somehow his fault. But you know what? He was always kind. He never told me to shut up. And he always kissed me the last thing at night and the first thing every single morning, including the morning he took the downtown local to Wall Street and never came back. He sure had lots of company, though. And I guess that counts for something. Not dying alone. No one should die alone. So maybe that is why I'm standing here and not leaning over the Chambers Street platform with a booklet of picture postcards in my hand. I had someone who loved me, who believed in me. You are the best there ever was, Marty English. We used to say that. They just don't know it yet. And he meant it. Oh, that crazy nut. You see, this is what Cy would have wanted me to do. He would have wanted me to go after that dream you always wanted and never had. So that's what I'm going to do. Only now, now it will really be special, because now I will be seeing it through Coke bottle glasses. Oh God, he would have loved riding that silly caterpillar bus. Oh, Nate?